Starbucks is causing waves for many of its regular coffeegoers. We'll tell you why.
Plus, see how one company is restoring confidence to the lives of the homeless.
And clouds are forming above the White House as Stormy Daniels turns up the intensity circulating around her allegations against President Trump.
All this and more on this episode of OC News. Hello, and thank you for joining us for this week's OC News. I'm Emma Perla.
And I'm Gabby Castania. OC News is brought to you by the broadcast journalism students at Cal State Fullerton.
We begin this evening with breaking news. Former First Lady Barbara Bush passed away Tuesday evening at her home in Houston. She was a political matriarch and a fierce advocate of civil rights. The Bushes had just celebrated their 73rd anniversary in January, making them the longest married couple in presidential history. Miss Bush had been in failing health for some time and recently declined further medical treatment. She was 92 years old. Following her death, her husband, former President George Bush, recalled her as the most beloved woman in the world and assured grieving Americans their love and friendship was helping them through this tough time. She is survived by her husband, 5 children, and 14 grandchildren. May she rest in peace.
Passengers aboard a Southwest flight experienced a horrifying ride. The Boeing 737 was forced to make an emergency landing Tuesday afternoon. The flight was leaving from New York's LaGuardia Airport, Dallas, to Dallas when an explosion in the engine took place at 30,000 feet. Tammy Jo Schultz, pilot during the flight carrying 144 passengers, made a safe landing in Philadelphia. One woman has passed away of a blunt impact trauma, and many were injured. Passengers are calling Schultz a hero for remaining calm and assisting the passengers during the emergency. Schultz was a former Navy fighter in 1985.
2 African-American men were arrested last Thursday at a Starbucks in Philadelphia for doing what many people usually do at the coffee chain every day: wait for a friend without ordering anything. The store manager was heard in a 911 recording saying, quote, "I have 2 gentlemen in my cafe that are refusing to make a purchase or leaving," end quote. Officers were shortly sent to the store. Starbucks is not taking the situation lightly and will be closing down some of its cafes for sensitivity training. With more on the story, reporter Regina Riorita is live from Starbucks.
Thank you, Emma. These tapes and recordings that were released come at the same time that Starbucks announced it will close around 8,000 company-owned stores on May 29th to teach employers about racial bias. That's about 175,000 employees partaking in this training. Now, I don't know about you, but I like my Starbucks and I enjoy purchasing a caramel venti macchiato, but I think I can hold off for one day because it's important to know that Starbucks is addressing this important issue. So if you guys are planning to come to Starbucks that day, I do suggest you make your coffee at home. Live at Starbucks, I'm Regina Urita, reporting for OC News.
Sexually transmitted diseases are on the rise in Orange County. According to the Daily Titan, in 2017, a total of 7,000 tests were conducted at the Student Health Center. The tests found that 176 Cal State Fullerton students tested positive for STDs. The Student Wellness Center provides STD testing for a fee ranging from $3 to $43 students who don't qualify for Family Pact at state-funded program.
There is no question that homeless population keeps increasing. So the question is, what is being done to help those in need? The Los Angeles community has taken matters into their own hands, and they are providing free showers to the homeless. Our reporter Cheryl Posadas witnessed the joy it brought to the homeless community in Los Angeles.
Lava Mae is a privately funded organization that brings radical hospitality to the streets by providing free haircuts.
I was waiting to get a haircut. I wanted it off. And I felt dirty with my hair. I felt dirty with the beard. I had a ponytail. I had a beard. Like people would look at me like dirty.
The idea originated in San Francisco back in 2013, and it began with free showers.
Essentially, our founder, Donnie Sandoval, thought, if you could put tacos on wheels, you could put showers on wheels.
Lava Mae is ran by passionate volunteers who share their talents to help bring dignity back to the homeless community.
My desire to do hair and stuff like that, to do hair great, is so that I can come back and give back.
We provide music, towel, soap, all that stuff. People just have to come with a smile.
If you would love to help the homeless community in Los Angeles, there are two ways. You can go and find out more information on www.lavame.org. I'm Cheryl Posadas, reporting for OC News.
Glad to see they're getting the help they deserve. Coming up next, a huge shift in the weather may catch you unexpectedly tomorrow.
Plus, we have an eye in the storm, Stormy Daniels, that is as she creates more chaos over the White House.
All that and more when OC News returns.
Every seat is a story. Behind every story is the reason for transparency.
The legal troubles for the Trump administration continue this past week with a big interview and an FBI raid. Our reporter Terry Gaines has more on the latest in politics.
With the airing of the long-awaited James Comey interview and the raid on Michael Cohen's office, the last week in politics can be summed up as tumultuous. ABC's heavily promoted James Comey interview aired on Sunday night. In the bombshell interview, the fired FBI director revealed that he believes President Trump obstructed justice and what he wants to happen if Special Counsel Robert Mueller is removed from the Russia investigation.
Was President Trump obstructing justice?
Possibly. I mean, it's certainly some evidence of obstruction of justice.
What will it mean if President Trump tries to fire Robert Mueller?
It would, I hope, set off alarm bells that this is his most serious attack yet on the rule of law.
Last Monday, the FBI raided President Trump's longtime lawyer, Michael Cohen's office, seizing business records, emails, and additional documents. The Justice Department later announced that Cohen has been under criminal investigation for months. A federal judge ordered the government turn over materials seized during the Cohen raid to his attorneys so that they can tell the judge how much of the documents are possibly subject to attorney-client privilege. After Cohen's legal team comes back with an idea of how much seized material they consider subject to attorney-client privilege, the judge will decide if a separate team of investigators is required to review the evidence before it can be used in the FBI investigation. I'm Terry Gaines, back to you in the studio.
In other political news, adult film star Stormy Daniels is claiming to have had an affair with President Trump back in 2006. Daniels is claiming Trump's personal lawyer, Michael Cohen, paid $130,000 of his own money to keep Daniels quiet, but now she's louder than ever during this press conference in NYC.
My attorney and I are committed to making sure that everyone finds out the truth and the facts of what happened, and I give my word that we will not rest until that happens. Thank you very much.
Trump has informed the public that the alleged affair never took place and that he wasn't a part of the payment that happened to keep Daniels quiet. He has been silent about the issue until he released a tweet defending himself against the Daniels sketch of the man Tuesday. Trump tweeted, "A sketch years later about a non-existent man, a total con job, playing the fake news media for fools."
Castro out of office, missiles in Syria and North Korea, currently talking to the U.S. Tony Fan has more for you guys on World News.
It's an unfamiliar sound for Cubans when they realize a Castro will no longer be in office. This is the first time in almost 60 years that this has happened. What's next for the Cubans? Well, let's take a look. Raul Castro is expected to step down from office this week. He took presidency in 2008 after his brother Fidel had resigned due to health issues. Apparently, the 86-year-old has been preparing his vice president Miguel Diaz-Canel to take his position. However, Castro did make it clear he still intends to be the head of the Communist Party. The Cuban General Assembly is planning to elect Diaz-Canel, an engineer and former education minister, in the following days. Cuban experts believe Diaz-Canel will not pressure any dramatic political change. Castro has been in office for Cuba since 1959. The U.S., French, and U.K. launched a missile attack to Syria over the weekend. The targets were chemical weapons facilities. Over 105 missiles were launched in retaliation for a suspected poison gas attack in Syria nearly a week ago. A UN team was sent to investigate Douma, the area where the gas attack occurred. Their job was to evaluate the situation to make sure it was safe for the fact-finding mission for the Organization for the Prohibition of Chemical Weapons to begin their work. Jerome Hammond, a Frenchman, had a successful third face transplant. The 43-year-old stayed in a hospital in Paris without a face for nearly 2 months, while a matching donor was sought out. Hammond suffers from neurofibromatosis type 1, a genetic condition that caused severe disfiguring tumors on his face. He received his first transplant back in 2010, but complications led his body to reject the transplant. For now, Hammond remains in good spirits and condition. President Donald Trump announced that the U.S. and North Korea are currently holding direct talks at extremely high levels to prepare for a possible meeting with dictator Kim Jong-un. Trump confirmed that North and South Korea are discussing an end to the long standoff between the countries, just in time for a meeting with both leaders. This will mark the third time there is an inter-Korean summit since the Korea's division in 1945. Trump plans to hold his own summit with Kim in the next 2 months and has a few locations under consideration. The proposed event follows months of heated debate over North Korea's nuclear weapons program. That's it for World News today. I'm Tony Fan. Back to you ladies at the desk.
Summer is around the corner and things are really starting to heat up around here, but tomorrow may catch us all off guard. Shannon McKercher has the update on this week's weather forecast.
Thanks, Gabby. Yes, happy Wednesday, guys. We've had some beautiful weather this week. We're so fortunate in Southern California. However, before we talk about our weather, let's take a look at the national weather. See the blue, this storm in the Midwest. Can we take a look at that clip? You can see there is icy roads. The snow is really just falling, and you know, their spring is just not the same as ours, unfortunately. We're not sure how long that storm's going to last, but now if we go take a look at the West Coast, see San Francisco is going to experience a little more of that rain and actually going to come down to LA and Fullerton. And if we go to the next map, we can see that we have a high of 70, low of 51. So the sun will be setting tonight at 7:24. Perfect for those long summer days. I know I really appreciate it. We will experience a little bit of showers tonight and into tomorrow. Thursday, 66. Friday, 76, and Mother Nature is surprising us by going into the high 80s this weekend. It will be perfect to go to the beach. Seniors, take those graduation pictures. It'll be a beautiful weekend, guys. That's all I have for the weather. Thank you so much. Back to you.
And now with all the latest pop culture and entertainment news, we go to our reporter, Jessica Cardenas.
What's up, you guys? This week we are celebrating the making of history in music, from Beyonce to Kendrick Lamar and more. Let's see what all the buzz is about.
The world saw Beyonce make history at this year's Coachella Festival.
Thank you for allowing me to be the first Black woman to headline Coachella.
Backed by more than 100 dancers and marching band members, the Queen stole the show during her epic Saturday night performance. Slaying for nearly 2 hours and rocking 5 costume changes, her set was packed with surprises. Jay-Z joined his wife on stage with the performance of Deja Vu. Bey got a little help from her sis Solange, and she reunited with Destiny's Child, singing their greatest hits. Destiny's Child also made history by becoming the first girl group to perform at the festival. Beyonce shook the world by having the highest live streaming record, the most tweeted about performance, and the longest Coachella set. Breaking the internet, her flawless delivery even got the Beehive saying the festival should be renamed Beachella.
So what do you guys think? Beachella? Sounds just about right to me. Beyonce followed her performance by announcing she is donating $100,000 to 4 historically Black colleges. And now we go to reporter Alyssa Reese, who attended the festival this past weekend.
Music goers made their way to the desert this weekend for the first weekend of the Coachella Valley Music and Arts Festival. Headliners included The Weeknd, Beyonce, and Eminem, who closed out the 3-day-long event. With an estimated 125,000 people in attendance, there were major changes made to the festival grounds this year. The biggest change was the relocation of the famous Sahara tent, which now resides at the entrance of the fairgrounds. Another addition was the Indio Central Market, where fun food and rosé popsicles made for the perfect Instagram. Art installations were spread out throughout the festival, including Spectra, a 7-story colorful structure that was without a doubt the main art attraction on site. However, pictures of Supernova, a massive star sculpture, flooded Instagram feeds across Southern California. As the sun went down in Indio, the wind picked up and the dust went flying, but that didn't stop people from enjoying the music. The Weeknd gave an emotional performance on Friday, leaving fans speechless. He performed songs off his new album, My Dear Melancholy, that he released last month. Saturday kicked off Baychella as the Queen herself took the stage and gave a Coachella performance like no other. The singer was set to headline the festival in 2017, but had to cancel last minute due to her pregnancy. As Sunday came, Eminem was the last performance of the weekend and didn't leave fans disappointed. After starting his set with nothing but new music, things took a turn for the better when he brought things back to 2003 and the real Slim Shady finally stood up. As Indio prepares for the second weekend of the music festival, fans have an idea of what they can expect as they add their finishing touches to their outfits and prepare to take on the desert yet again. I'm Alyssa Ruiz for OC News.
And another artist also just made history. Rapper and Compton native Kendrick Lamar was awarded a Pulitzer Prize in music for his most recent studio album. Now we go to Tyra Majors with an inside look. Tyra?
That's right, Jessica. Kendrick Lamar's album, Damn, made history this week as the first ever hip-hop album to win a Pulitzer Prize in music. Now, this has just been a huge talker this week. Here's what people are saying. Kendrick Lamar won a Pulitzer Prize. He's the first person in hip-hop to do that. Like, what goes through your mind when you hear that?
First off, I just want to say that I think he really deserves it. There's a lot of rappers that are overhyped, and some of them don't really deserve it, but I think Kendrick Lamar genuinely deserves it because, I mean, the stuff he raps about in his songs, it's important, you know? It's very important, and it needs to be heard, it needs to be told, you know?
Kendrick Lamar is the first rapper and the first person in hip-hop to get the award. Like, how do you feel about that?
Well, I think it goes back to rap in general. I think it stands for rhythm and poetry, so I think it is pretty impressive that he won. He speaks truth, my man.
You told me you're a Kendrick Lamar fan. What goes through your mind when you hear that he won such a prestigious award that no one in rap has ever won?
I think he deserves it just based on how his raps includes like social, just things going on in the world and how he incorporates it into his rap, so I think it's well deserved.
It's crazy that black people are on the rise now. It's been needing to happen for a long time. Also crazy that 75 years, it's only been jazz and classical music that's won, and so it's amazing for him to have won this with him being like hip-hop artist, and I think it's great, and we need more black people on the rise.
Yeah, so the Pulitzers actually only expanded the music category for this award 75 years ago, and only classical or jazz musicians have won. This is just groundbreaking and huge for the hip-hop industry. Reporting with OC News, this is Tyra Majors, and back to you.
Thank you, Tyra. Congrats to Kendrick for this prestigious award, and we can't wait to see what else is in store for him. And speaking of music, the upcoming 2018 Billboard Music Awards is just around the corner. We have the inside scoop on this year's top nominees.
It just keeps getting better and better for Kendrick Lamar. Along with Ed Sheeran, the two sensational artists are this year's top Billboard Music Awards nominees. Both racking up 15 nominations, the artists are competing against one another for Top Artist, Top Billboard 200 Album, Top Hot 100 Song, and Top Selling Album. Coming in second place for the most nominations is Bruno Mars, who claims 14 nods this time around.
We're in April, guys, and it's already such a successful year for so many artists. Can't wait to see all the big wins in May. I'll take it back to you ladies at the desk.
Yes, and if Coachella left you drained, you might have to recharge. So imagine a room with loads of delicious pizza, rounds of cheese, fresh prosciutto, and stacks of pasta. For those Italian lovers, you're in for a treat. Our reporter, Regina Urita, gives us the inside look on LA's newest popular market.
It's the Italian Grand Central Market of LA, and the newest place to be if you're not afraid to indulge in some delicious carbs. Italy LA is a 3-level marketplace of 67,000 square feet, filled with all things Italy, from pastas, pizza, prosciutto, to a variety of extra virgin olive oils. People are coming here to savor this Italian taste.
Very excited. I saw it on, I believe, ILA. They featured it, so I've been waiting to come.
But what makes this 3-level destination so interesting? Aside from their daily fresh pasta made with squid ink.
How diverse all the different little stops are. It's kind of reminiscent of just like going to being in Italy, seeing all the different markets instead of having a big supermarket, all different little sections.
There are a total of 39 Italys around the world. However, this Italian experience is the first one located in LA.
The place is really spacious, really open, really diverse kind of foods and everything. Gelato's amazing.
As for the creative name, the CEO, Nicola Ferranetti, easily came up with a play on words.
It's delicious. Strawberry and banana chocolate, and I'm very happy right now.
Since their motto is nothing more than what it's named as.
After you've visited all 3 floors, there's only one thing to say.
What up, the people?
Live in Culver City, I'm Regina Urita, reporting for OC News.
Find out what major car company is slowing down production on one of its popular models.
Plus, a domestic chase in Canada that got pretty hairy.
We'll fill you in with all the details when we come back.
Hey, look, it's those guys.
Let's do those pearly whites, man.
Yeah! Okay, boys, check it out.
Ooh, cute.
Are you good to try?
I'm fine.
Hey girl, what's up? What's the name? What's good? What's up? How many did you have?
I should be fine.
You should be?
Sir, go and step out of the vehicle for me.
Yes, sir. See ya, buddy. Today, Sean's got a hearing. We'll see how it goes. Good luck. So turns out, buzz driving and drunk driving, they're the same thing, and it costs around $10,000. So not worth it.
From music to viral videos online, Clarissa Rico has more on what's trending now.
Yes, Cardi B continues to break records, and America has a new obsession with foil. Here's more on the latest topics that are trending. A new trend that began in Japan has people turning foil into a perfectly polished ball.
What is he doing? What is... Oh, is this that foil ball thing?
Oh, I did this yesterday!
The trend turned into a challenge with people showing the different ways the mirror polished ball can be achieved. These videos online already have millions and millions of views. Another viral trend that began in Japan is one that parents might want their kids to actually participate in. While America is known for its spicy food and Tide Pod challenges, Japanese teens are making their own waves in the viral world by studying. Yes, a popular trend in Japan has students filming themselves studying and uploading them to YouTube. The trend first began when Japanese YouTuber Hajime Saicho uploaded a video of himself studying for an entire hour. Since then, hundreds of students have uploaded their own study session videos, and now the trend is traveling overseas as many US students are creating their own Study With Me videos. Finally, the Dominican rap queen is breaking records again. This has truly been Cardi B's year as she just announced her pregnancy, and her new album, Invasion of Privacy, just debuted at #1 on the Billboard 200 albums chart and is currently in the top 10 on the iTunes album chart in the US. Congrats to Cardi B for killing the music charts. And now I have to go work on my own foil ball challenge. That's all I have for you guys on What's Trending. I'm Clarissa Rico. Back to you guys.
Tesla has been under a lot of fire here lately, but things are looking up for the new company.
Tesla's buyers and fans are all looking for what is known as the Model 3. It is Tesla's first mid-price sedan that majority of the masses can afford now. It is a steep jump down from its original price tag of its Model S and X. The wait for the Model 3 has a lot of people on edge because they simply don't understand why it takes so long for the company to produce them.
Yeah, it frustrates me because, like, I just say a person that just graduated out of college and wants to buy it right now, he can't. He's got to wait like about over a year of wait time.
Some people have been waiting for over 2 years. In its start, Tesla's famous CEO, Elon Musk, reported that they were going to make 5,000 Model 3s a week. But when production started, the numbers jumped down to only 2,000 a week.
Here at his massive factory in Silicon Valley.
You started saying we'll do 5,000 a week, then okay, that didn't work out, we'll do 2,500 a week, and now it's a little over 2,000 a week. Does that trouble you?
Yeah, no, that's true. I need to figure out how to be better, and then we can be better at meeting goals.
You know what? Since it's Tesla, actually, I feel like I have more patience for the company. I understand the company a little more, and I know they've been going through some production problems. So I have a little bit more understanding. But at the same time, let's say if it was another big manufacturing company, they would frustrate me a little bit more to know that I have to wait over a year just to get the car. Yeah.
Elon joked about the company going bankrupt on April Fool's Day, but not many laughed, considering the company has always been on the radar for bankruptcy. With all the hype, many are hoping that Elon Musk comes through on his Model 3 projections, not only for his buyers, but the company.
And here it is. Just for $35,000, you can get your hand on a brand new Model 3. It's a Tesla after all, guys. This is amazing.
I'm Larry Junis in Fullerton, reporting for OC News.
It was quite the busy weekend for sports from Los Angeles to the OC. Amanda Palacios has the latest updates in the sports world.
Yes, in the sports world, there certainly was a lot going on. So if you missed any of these games or events, I've got the latest highlights for you. For the latest news in hockey, the Kings fairy tale ending turned into a nightmare after the Golden Knights swept away the competition, winning 4 straight games. Thanks to their 1-0 win on Tuesday night, the Golden Knights are in the first team in the 2018 Stanley Cup playoffs to advance to the second round. And in baseball at the Big A, all eyes were on the Angels pitcher Shohei Ohtani as he pitched his 3rd major league start. The 23-year-old was struggling on the mound and left after 2 innings because of a blister. Ohtani said the blister developed in his last start and it didn't hold up too well. Ouch, that must have been one painful blister. But if you're a Dodger fan, there is good news for you. The Dodgers were victorious over the Padres last night and won the game 7-3. The game went into 12 innings, making this the 3rd win in a row and longest winning streak of this season. If you missed last night's game, the Dodgers will play the Padres again tonight in the final game of the 3-game series. Speaking of the Dodgers, some of the current and former players have been sporting Trinity bats over the past few years. Trinity Bat Company is family-owned, based out of Orange County, that has been around since 2005 and continues to spread throughout the MLB. Our very own Jessica Lucera has more on the story.
What if I told you the Dodgers advanced to the World Series for the first time since 1988 this past season? Well, they did. Now, what if I told you that some of the bats that players used in the playoffs were made in our own backyard? You guessed it, that's also true. This is Steve McKay, and he's the owner of Trinity Bat Co. in Fullerton, California.
We started off 12 years ago, and there was a company here in Fullerton that was the first independent bat company, and they were going out of business, and so this is history. We had to be a part of it, and we started Trinity Bats.
If you watched any of the 2017 MLB postseason, then you remember Puig licking his bat, and this one shown is one of Trinity Bat's very own.
We had bats with Yasiel Puig and Yasmani Grandal and Rich Hill in the World Series with the Dodgers.
As a company that's been around since 2005, they started off locally and would give one bat at a time to professional baseball players. Then, from there, the family company began their legacy.
Our very first pro was Vladimir Guerrero. We went into spring camp with one bat, not realizing that everybody else was giving him 6 bats. And the clubby told us that Vladdy, when he traveled, he carried our bat with him and meant that much to him. That was the start of it.
McKee shared that while seeing professional players sport their product is great, nothing is better than seeing a little leaguer holding their bats.
We treat them like a professional.
I want them to walk out of here like a pro, like they feel like a pro. I had one little kid walk out looking at his name on his bat and said, "Dad, I feel like Derek Jeter."
Trinity Bat Co. emphasizes the individuality of each bat to meet how unique each of their customers are. For OC News, I'm Jessica Lucero.
Race cars ran through the local streets in downtown Long Beach last weekend. The 44 Toyota Grand Prix of Long Beach had fans excited with all sorts of fun experiences. Our reporter Miri Sonato was at the event to cover the energy firsthand.
The loud engine sound, the cheering crowd, and flying cars. Racing cars burned up the local streets at Toyota Grand Prix of Long Beach last weekend. About 200,000 fans celebrated their annual racing events. Other than watching car races, you can enjoy car merchandise, be a racer, and get on the actual racing cars from this event.
$500,000 Porscheです.
$500,000? This number 41 Porsche finished in 13th in Sunday's Pirelli World Challenge race because of a crash.
レースは良くなかったんですが、その後、一生懸命走って、レース中のベストラップを、記録したので、良かったです。
If your tummy grows during the event, they have more than a dozen food trucks. Or if you decide to get drunk with your friends, they have bar stands and bars. But only some people got to open a big bottle of champagne.
That is really nasty and hot. It's horrible. We finished third today. We actually had a good day. There's our trophy.
Sunday was highlighted with 44th Toyota Grand Prix of Long Beach. Under blue sky, the audience felt the wind from racing cars in this incredible close distance.
It was excellent. It was exciting. We saw like half of it, so it was cool just to be here. It's exciting to see and hear it.
Super Trucks race wowed the crowd as the perfect ending of this event. Rushed Super Trucks after the race attracted the fans. Toyota Grand Prix of Long Beach will come back next April.
Well, that's the latest happening in the sports world. Back to you, ladies.
A dog who has been a very bad boy was put behind bars this weekend. Yeah, I said it, a dog, for chasing a deer. The owner, Reed Thompson, said he and his girlfriend were walking the suspect, Finn, when they decided to let him off his leash. That's when Finn took off, and 30 minutes later, Thompson received a phone call from authorities saying Finn was causing quite the commotion and in pursuit of his victim, a deer, in the road. Thompson's daughter, Emma, wrote on Twitter that Finn's future is still unknown and that he was left off with a warning. The family appreciates the kind words. Looks like this bad dog got off early for bad boy behavior.
And that's all we have for tonight's episode of OC News.
Remember, you can be a part of the conversation by showing us some love on all our social media at OC News at CSUF. I'm Emma Perla.
And I'm Gabby. See you next week.
OC News is sponsored in part by Univision Communications, Southwest Airlines, and Casanova McCann.